Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Hello, friends and fiends. Welcome to Bugs Need Heroes, a podcast where an artist and an entomologist team up to illustrate the inspiring abilities of insects by creating bug-themed superheroes. I'm Amanda.
I'm Kelly.
Producer Derek and Desdemona and Zotz are here. Before we get started creating this bug-inspired hero, what's bugging you, Kelly? I haven't seen you in like a month.
I know. It hurts.
It hurts. It hurts real bad. I keep something happens. I'm like, I gotta tell Kelly this Sunday, and then I'm like, no,
There is no Sunday.
I won't. I'll just have to text her like some sort of child.
Yeah, at least we have a nice text chain going on.
Yeah.
So I started teaching. I'm actually professing to the youth.
You're professing once more?
Yeah. It's fun. My students are great. The university is wonderful. The department's great. Friend of the pod, Ped, is my colleague, so we get to hang out.
Collegians.
Yeah,
That's my husband always say.
It's very fun. I enjoy teaching, so I'm really happy to do that. I'm still working on my dissertation. I'm hoping to defend in December. Although the more I say it out loud, the more I'm panicked. Something will happen and I won't get there. But that's the goal.
You can now that you're teaching, you can learn all about Riz and skibbities and all the things that children say to me. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I haven't heard any slang yet from the undergrads.
They haven't tried to Riz you up.
They are very nice. My undergrads are super nice, and they want to share so much of their lives with me. And I've only known them for 3 weeks, so yeah.
The parasocial dynamics of your professor. I had the biggest crush on my professor my freshman year of college. So
really?
Oh yeah. I won't name drop anything. That seems a little rude, but and he was like and I was like, he's too old for me, because I was 18. But like now I'm like, he was like at most like 27. So like I could have waited a couple years and made that work.
Well, he's got to be professional. So
yeah, exactly. I wasn't, I didn't speak to him because I liked him. You know how it goes. So.
Especially as an 18-year-old.
As an 18-year-old, I was going through it. 18 was like the worst year of my life too.
Aww.
For personal reasons. So
baby Amanda having time.
Having a time. Don't get back surgery.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Actually do get back surgery because you need it.
If you need it, yes. It is also nighttime. We're recording.
It is. We are bats this month.
It is 9:25 p.m. for me on the East Coast. I just taught a full day. I've been up since 7.
Okay.
But I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to see you guys. I was so excited.
Try not to keep you up.
I'm like chugging Diet Coke to stay awake.
You're just like, I need some caffeine pills. Mm.
Our schedule, I know, has been a little strange, and it will continue to be a little bit weird until we kind of figure stuff out. The Derek and Amanda have family things happening for the next few weeks, and yeah. So we'll get back on task, guys, soon. I promise.
Well, you gotta get your your I want to say your flowers, but that's not the right phrase. They're your accolades. That's the word I want. Accolades.
I'd rather have flowers.
I mean, you could get both. Maybe someone will give you flowers as a congratulations.
Maybe. When I got my master's degree, my grandmother gave me flowers.
There you go.
That was nice. Miss you, Grandma. She won't be around. She's not around now, so I'll probably get no flowers for my PhD.
Wow. If Joe, I know you don't listen to this podcast, so this is going to no one. But get your wife some flowers, preferably some Lego ones so they last forever. Yes, and get her a minifig of herself as a doctor. And I've solved your marriage for you, Joe. Come on.
Just got to get him to listen to that.
Yeah. This is why you need a wife.
I need a husband and a wife. Just
and
to balance things out.
Have 2 hands, Kelly. Come on. I'll be your work wife. Your podcast wife.
My podcast wife is Amanda. I would
maybe
be honored,
laurels.
Amanda.
Derek says laurels. I think laurels is why I went to flowers.
Isn't that what you rest on?
Well, they're like, you get them as a congratulations around your head.
Oh, right, right. I'll take
Rest on
that.
your laurels is like resting on your past achievements.
Hmm, I like it.
So at some point you have to get them.
Yes. Well, what's bugging you? What's new in the world of
Oh, it's just
Amanda?
been crazy. It's just been nuts. Um, so have you ever done that thing where like you have a vacation and then you get sick on your vacation and you feel like you didn't get a vacation?
Yeah, that's
I did
fun.
that. That's what I did. I got COVID and
That
I
is
don't
also why
recommend
we
that.
haven't recorded
There's
recently.
also we
Back
missed
on
the
COVID.
recording session because I was like, okay, I'll be there, guys. And you're like, no, stay home.
Mm-mm.
Don't come talk to me. I don't want to hear it. I can still hear it. Like I was singing along to my Broadway songs earlier, and my upper register is not yet returned.
But at least you can sing. That's pretty good.
Um, I certainly do sing. I'm not sure I'd qualify it as can sing. The subtle nuances between those two, but I certainly do sing. I think it's one of those. We don't have to monetize everything. Don't monetize everything. Don't monetize your hobbies. My hobby is singing Broadway songs very loudly. My sub hobby to that is changing the lyrics to Broadway songs to
Oh
annoy
yeah,
my 6 year old son.
that's fun.
It's good.
I like
Uh,
to change music lyrics to my cats. They don't
yes,
know what I'm
perfect.
doing, but it
It's the
involves them. Yeah.
it's the greatest hobby there is.
Did you
Uh,
you and Derek were also at Comic Con, right?
yes, we went to Comic Con. That's where I got COVID. Um,
And
which
this
man,
was Rose City in Portland.
Rose City in Portland. It was a great time. It was so slam packed. I think because I think people are back. You
Hmm.
know, conventions got canceled in 2020. People weren't ready to be back in 2021. 2022 was still kind of dicey. 23 people were coming back, but 24 the we have returned. The celebs were out. The people were in. The
Nice.
costumes were costuming. Like normally Saturday is like the fullest day. But I was talking to the vendors and they were like, no, it was Sunday. Sunday was the day. Where
Wow.
like everyone came out for Sunday. Maybe they also thought Saturday would be the big day. And so they were like, we'll go Sunday. But no, I saw multiple people I know, people I haven't seen in years. I was like, hey. And they were like, hey.
Oh, that's
Um,
so much fun.
it was. And we did a panel on the superpowers of cats with our friend Dr. Mike. Uh, Shout out Dr. Mike. And the room was full. People seemed to like it. People booed me, which Derek loved. He loved that.
Did he set that up so that they would boo you?
Yes. Well,
What a brother thing to do.
he did set me up. You know, we like introduced ourselves, and he introduced me as like the cat skeptic, and I of course like leaned into that, like meh, meh, and they appropriately booed and hissed me.
Oh, that's great. That is
Uh,
fantastic,
it
Amanda.
was good though. It was fun. It was fun. It was fun to do a not bug panel, but I was surprised that they didn't pick our bug panel. They picked our
Yeah.
cat panel. Next time, I guess. Just keep having to come back and do more and more panels until we've covered every animal on Earth.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Who's stopping me?
Well, let's go from the velvety softness of cats to
Mm.
today's
To another thing
topic,
I'm skeptical about.
the velvety softness of velvet worms.
It's another bug that I know nothing about. As you know, I try very hard to keep myself away from our subject animal
Yeah.
in the weeks leading up.
I think this one you'd be hard pressed to come across without really
I'd
thinking
have to
about
seek
it.
him out. Okay.
So this velvet worms is what we're covering, and they're not even arthropods. They're completely different phylum.
Are we allowed to break the rules of
The
this
rules.
podcast? And
Well,
is he squishy on the inside?
he's squishy on the outside and the inside.
Oh my gosh! So he's
Bug.
following those
Still a
wormy
bug.
rules.
Yeah.
Still a bug. Bug is a vibe. Bug is a vibe. I'll allow it,
Yes.
depending on when I see a picture of him, and then I'll stop this podcast mid sentence if I see a picture of this guy and he's not buggy enough.
Suddenly the end credits just roll
Just do 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 do
in the middle of the show.
nothing.
We
It's a
just
10-minute
call it
episode.
quits.
Cancel the whole thing.
Well, they belong to phylum Onychophora, which means claw bearers because they have little claws in the end of their little fetums.
I'm in. I'm hooked.
You're
You know I
hooked?
love I
Ooh,
love a bear.
good pun. We all love bears as women. We love bears.
We do.
Uh,
Oh, there he is.
take a look.
Oh, okay. So he's kind of, okay. He counts because if we're gonna count like millipedes and
Hmm.
slugs and snails, and this guy is like,
He
if
looks
a
like a
millip,
soft centipede.
yeah, if a millipede, centipede, and a snail had a fuzzy baby,
Yeah, yeah.
he's
Or like a
giving
slug.
deep sea
He
vibes.
does feel deep sea-ish because he's so soft looking.
Yeah, like is he covered in like I want to say he's covered in like the little, oh, this is so niche, I'm sorry, but like the inside of your intestines have like those little like nutrition sucking fingers,
Oh,
like
that is
that's what
very niche.
I'm sorry, it's the Magic School Bus I've been watching, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. He's actually covered in little tiny scales.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay, so he's not really velvety per se as much as
Apparently, it
he's
feels velvety to the touch.
mm,
Now, I have
I'm
never seen one because they are not native to North America. Most of them
oh.
live, and I'm sure you'll be shocked to find out, most of them live in Australia.
Oh no, that means this fella's up to no good.
There are only 90 described living species right now.
Mm.
If
Oh,
we
he's
go
got
back
that.
through the fossil record and through no longer living species, it's more like um, a couple hundred that we know of.
Okay. So he's got that island thing where like he's stuck on the one island and he
Well, they're also in South America.
oh.
They like
Okay, so he's
warm
mostly
and wet. If you think about those
don't we all?
those places, so Australia, New Zealand, South America, New Guinea, South Africa, that kind of south of
So
the
lower
yeah, lower
hemisphere
hemisphere.
hot, moist.
Hot and moist. They dry out really easily, so they really need
What's
a
that
more
word?
moist environment.
Desiccation or something?
Very very close. Take out the T.
Desiccation.
Yes.
Yes, so
Gold star,
close.
Amanda. We're
Silver
back.
star. I
We're
added a
back,
T
baby.
that wasn't there.
I'm giving
I'm
you
taking points away.
I'm giving you extra credit because it's been a
Oh,
while.
thanks. Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
yeah. So these guys and gals are yeah, like I said, they're not arthropods. They're actually so arthropods and water bears are kind of like sister taxa, and then
Hmm.
both of these are a sister taxa to this phylum. So they're more closely related to each other, and then they're both kind of related to Onychophora.
Okay, onychophora does sound like a poison or a fancy perfume.
Hmm, Onychophora.
Onychophora, and like it's like crawling around. It like rears up its little buggy head. Onychophora.
It's all silky.
It's like, yeah, there's like a lot of lingering shots of like
Yeah.
velvet and like
No,
hands
yeah,
on velvet.
yeah. And they're
Onychophora.
they're kind of neat. So they belong to a group called the lobopods, and it just means they have lobed feeties.
I'm looking at his feeties. It's like he's wearing teeny tiny shoes on just
Like
one
socks.
toe. It's like have you seen when people have like those puppet hands? They're like one finger and it's
Oh,
like a hand on the end. It feels like that,
kind of
but
like
with a
that.
shoe.
Yeah, Derek just gets sent a close up of those little footies.
These are some cute little footies. Yeah, he's got like he's like wearing like tiny ballet flats on the end of his toes.
It's it's interesting because they all right. So the outside is soft and pliable. The inside, so you've got all the organs kind of in the center of the body, and then the cavity surrounding that is called a hemocele, or it's I think it's a soft C. It might be hemocole. I think it's hemocele because I think coelom is what I was thinking about when I was writing this down. Anyway, it's a cavity and it's full of the hemolymph, and he pushes the hemolymph around in the body, and it extends the little feet, and that's what makes it
Right.
move. So it's all
So it's like,
pressure.
again, that sort of that hydraulic thing that like you've
Kind
talked about
of.
with spiders, where it's like more
But
about moving the pressure of your body around.
right. And the pressure is so high in their body. We call this a hydrostatic skeleton. So
Oh,
it keeps its squishy little body pushed out and into a shape because of the internal
so like
pressure.
when you blow
It's like
air into a balloon and it makes a shape in the end.
more like you've put a bunch of water into a balloon.
Okay, so like a water balloon shape.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, I guess because
squishy.
yeah, but like how like it's not a star shaped balloon until you fill it,
Yeah, yeah. Or
then
like
it
you put
becomes
a
star
bunch of
shaped.
water in a glove and you tie it
Yeah,
off and it's kind of like that.
yeah.
So it's filling all of these little, their feet are more like little sacks full of liquid that they like push
Now
around.
I can't not see them as like water balloons.
They feel like little water balloon animals just flopping
I
around.
Do you remember? Maybe you're slightly too old.
How dare
Just
you?
because. Let me rephrase. maybe you were mature beyond this
I
product.
think this is worse.
But in the 90s, they had a brand of baby doll where like it had a plastic head and then it had a water.
Water babies. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about this thing as a water baby
That's
now.
probably what it feels like.
Mm.
So if you
Or
are
have you
of an age where you felt a water baby.
Do you remember those things? And my son got one at a birthday party over
Mhm.
the summer, and I was like, that's not coming home with us. But it's like a tube, and it's full of like
Oh,
glitter and stuff,
yeah.
and it's called like a water weasel or something like that.
And it slips through your
And
hands.
yeah, and it slips through your hands, and my son, of course, stuck his arm through it and wore it
Of
as
course he did.
like a warrior's gauntlet for the whole party.
Like
I
a
feel like
like
that might be
Leprechaun.
a similar sensation to
Yeah.
squeezing this guy, but
Yeah, I
also
think so.
covered in velvet.
Yeah,
So
very soft. They're
it's
they're neat.
therapeutic.
So as I'm sure you've probably already guessed, an animal like this is incredibly old. He's not new on the scene.
No, this is a shape you develop early on, and then no one has ever compelled you to change it, and so you've just
Yes.
stuck with it.
So we're talking like 500 million years.
Oh gosh.
It's
So this is
where we start with like lobopods in
a friend of
general.
the dinosaurs.
Just I'm sure they were squishing around,
A
doing their
snack of
thing.
the dinosaurs.
But they're pretty small, so they're
Oh,
usually
okay.
between half an inch to 2 inches in length, which is like 1.5 to 7 centimeters for the rest of the world. The biggest is 8.7 inches in length, which is a big boy. That's 22 centimeters.
That's a big juicy fella.
So like 2 inches past the dollar bill
Yeah.
for the Americans. Because Amanda taught me a dollar is 6 inches, which
So,
I did
yeah, that's
not know
right. That's right.
before.
Helpful
I use that,
information.
Amanda. I actually use that when I'm if I happen to need to measure something and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I got a dollar, I'll like, or any American bill will do.
Hmm. Yeah, we
Yeah.
keep all our money the same color, and we're not being fancy with our money the way some people are.
And then,
Honestly, I think making it color coded makes way more sense, but it's fine. It's
yeah,
fine.
it's a little gripe about American money. Oh, but the smallest is like 0.2 inches.
Just a sprout. Just a
A
weeny
sprout,
little dude.
about 5 millimeters or 0.5 centimeters for the rest of the planet.
Just a
So
smidgen.
tiny, so tiny. So they come in a fair variety of shapes, but they again on average they're pretty like half an inch to 2 inches or so.
Yeah. They're
And
caterpillar worm sized.
yeah, yeah, kind of caterpillary. They come in really beautiful colors. So their base color can be like blue to gray blue to kind of purpley to brown, but they have really cool patterns on their bodies. Some of them are chevron patterned, which feels like a weird natural pattern to make. They're very stylish. They were very in a few years ago, the chevron patterns.
Yes, they're in.
They're striped. They can be stripes. They can have diamond patterns on their bodies. And usually those are in like a really contrasting color. They're really pretty. Weird looking, but pretty.
Okay, I've now Googled it to try and find some. I'm downloading this image to send into the Discord because you cannot tell me that this worm is not giving Mudang energy right now, and that is
Okay.
very topical. Are you caught up with Mudang?
I am not caught up with Buddha,
Oh, well, your undergrads have
but
really
I
been
must.
failing you then.
Well, it's only been a few weeks. They have to ease me in. All right, let me check out the Discord. And yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, let me show you who Mudang is, and then you'll know that I'm correct.
Look at that little face. Look at that weird little face. So what you're looking at on this that you think are probably the eyes,
Uh huh.
those are not eyes. The eyes are actually up closer to the antennae, and the antennae kind of blocks what they're looking at, so they really can't see very well at all.
This is a horrible design, guys. You
Yeah,
can't. Terrible
terrible
choice.
design. And they have simple eyes, more like lens to like a spider. Oh, Mudang is the new
Is the hippo? Yeah,
hippo.
it's the
Yeah.
Thailand hippo that's just been like taking over the internet. But you can't tell me. You
Oh,
can't
he's
tell me.
look at his little face. Look at all those rolls. I just want to pinch him. He's so cute.
Yeah. She has been doing gangbusters on the internet. Like,
I can't
okay,
believe
sorry. I'm distracting you with the baby hippo.
she's gonna
But
grow up to be a killing machine, but she's fantastic now.
yeah, they like do all these cute videos of her like trying to eat her zookeeper's boots or like chomping their legs. I'm like, this is like when you treat like you let a goat headbutt you, and then pretty soon you have an adult goat trying to headbutt you. Like you're gonna have to nip this in the bud, okay? You can't let this hippo think it can eat your legs.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how. Yeah, Derek's saying
Let's
she's a
see.
pygmy hippo, but we'll see how that
Well,
turns out.
a pygmy hippo is still a
It's
hippo.
still a hippo, yeah. So, let's see. I'm gonna. So that one photo you can see its weird little face.
Yes, he's got like in this picture. I think it's my brain is filling in a lot of information with his little mouth and his little like hey little expression. Let me get another picture of his face so I can more clearly
You're gonna want
understand.
like a close up, and you'll probably be less happy.
Okay, I see. I've zoomed in on his little face, and there's like a little teeny tiny eye right at the base of the antenna there. That doesn't make me too upset. It's still
Well,
very
here,
cute.
take a look at this drawing, which is a lot more specific.
Okay, I'm headed. Oh, wow, that sure is a drawing. I think I'm gonna stick to this one. This one is much better. He's cuter in this one.
But if you were to like, yeah, that's basically it. And I think you can kind of see I think that's an eye
I
right
think the
next to the
little
antenna, that tiny
yeah,
little black dot.
it's like one tiny like those little
Looks like a big,
sprinkles.
yeah, I think
Wouldn't
that's an
wouldn't
eye. So
I'm
it's got
sorry.
this
This is a cute
crazy
little guy.
crescent shaped mouth that is, they're, well, mandibles, real mandibles, which are a lot closer to sort of like spider chelicerae, and they're sickle shaped, and they are, oh yeah, oh, Derek's got like a
All
better.
these scientific diagrams are horrifying. And the actual picture of the guy, he's like just chilling. He's just like, I'm a worm. And I'm like, you guys send me these scientific diagrams where it's like, I'm going to devour you from the inside.
Well, the scientific diagrams are so you can really know exactly what this looks like close up. When we release this episode, we'll try to find some like royalty free images to
Yeah.
share with you guys so you can see too. Or as always, feel free to Google if you're listening to this in your house and you're not driving, and like take a peek as we're checking stuff out. But so those things above that kind of look like eyes,
Yes.
that's where the slime comes from.
Don't love that
You're waiting.
information.
And
Okay, so these like they're not quite legs. They're in like the same pattern as the legs. So you could
they
almost think that they're like one last little leg, but it's not. It's a
they're
slime.
sort of like so there's like slime glands near that appendage, and they're so primitive it's kind of hard to describe what all these body parts are, because they don't really, they're not homologous to, which is similar to
Same to
other
same. Yeah.
things. Yeah. So this is, they're kind of like they're modified limbs on either side of the mouth, of like just north of the jaw. And not only do they, so they slime prey, they're active hunters. These guys are roaming around munching. And this is really cool because during that time period, 500 million years ago, this is when, sort of on this small scale, that evolutionary arms race between predator and prey begins. Because now we have active hunters, they're
He
sensing
was
the
there.
environment.
He was there, Anakin.
Yeah,
He
the high
saw.
ground.
He's coming for you.
As we all know, I'm an Anakin apologist.
You are an Anakin.
Amanda has pointed out. Yeah,
Whoa.
look at the slime.
Oh, you didn't tell me he shoots the slime.
Yes.
Oh no. Okay. Quick disclaimer. This
About
may or may not make it to
10
air.
to 20 feet per second.
we have been trying hard. Word choice exemplary. Not to point out that this dude is a wiener worm. And now you're showing me him shoot slime?
What? Yeah, white. Two streams of white slime coming out of this guy's head.
Out of his body that is filled with fluid till it's rigid.
It actually has two huge slime
soft
glands that run along each side of the body. It takes up a big part of their body cavity.
We're going to have to cut that out, but I just want you to know that I know that this is a wiener worm.
You know, we should leave it in, and Derek just bleeps out the word wiener for no reason. Even though
replace it with the word Kevin. We'll just be like, and Kevin was here.
Well, I noticed on Apple we have an explicit rating, so we might as well just say wiener.
All right, we're wieners.
So it's fine.
We're trying to keep our all ages, so that when we say to other people, we try to keep it all ages. It's not just me yelling wiener at people.
Well, when people ask me if it is kid safe, I say it depends on the parents.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
It depends on the episode and depends on the parent. A lot of them are mostly kid safe. Some of them are definitely not.
Well, I think when we discuss
is not at all.
Right. When we discuss the animal behaving in sexual ways, I think that's fine. But I don't think we should include wiener worm just because that's what he's doing. But that's a human wiener, not a bug wiener. I'm fine with discussing the bug wieners, but I think we probably shouldn't count human wieners. Okay.
Well, I can get into reproduction for these guys if you want.
Oh, we got to go back to whoa, he shoots slime, and then we can evolve the conversation from there. Yeah. So, okay, I think you could probably cut it back to whoa, you didn't tell me he shoots.
I really hope Derek just leaves this whole thing now.
Enough me being like, you gotta answer this out. Okay.
So it shoots slime.
What is the point of shooting the slime?
Predators. If you're going to eat this thing, and the slime is very sticky, like really sticky. So if he shoots you in the face with sticky slime, you're not going to want to eat that. You're going to leave. Slime. Yeah, you're going to leave.
So the way you led up to it, I thought the slime was how he was predating.
It's also that too. It's dual.
Oh no, this is multi-purpose slime.
It's as Alton Brown would say, it's a multitasker.
Oh wow, he could really whip it around.
Yeah, like, it's kind of amazing, isn't it? It's really impressive for something that size.
It feels very
like silly string.
Yeah, like he's just like, oh, wow. He's trying to cover your whole face while you're coming at him with.
I wish you guys could see Amanda waving her arms around, going wow.
Just imagine a ninja, but out of his, I mean, it's like, I know we reference Spider-Man a lot on this podcast, but we just have to because it feels very like when you see him and he's just shooting, and then the camera pans over and he's made like the Eiffel Tower out of webs. It feels like that sort of animation happening.
Cover the whole bus.
That's exactly. Yeah. Wow, he doesn't even seem to be moving his head that much. So he's just moving those little
because they're limbs. Because they're movable limbs.
Right.
Yeah. So modified limbs attached to these really huge slime glands, and it just goes for it.
And so what's he doing this to? Like other bigger bugs?
Probably to a predator.
Anything like a rat or whatever? Okay.
Mm-hmm. A bird, a rat, whatever mammal is in these parts.
And these in their parts.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they do that, and when they grab their prey, out of their weird little crescent mandibles, they secrete digestive juices. So
Mm,
they like use the mandibles to poke a hole in their prey, and
right.
they
Puncture it in.
puncture it, and then they use the digestive juices and slurp out the insides like
Right.
spiders.
Like spiders.
Yeah,
They start digesting you without eating you first,
yeah, you're
sort of
probably
thing.
living while it's going on.
Hate that for
It's a tough world.
whatever. It's it's harsh down there. Yeah, that,
Probably a bug. Yeah, something
Honey,
small.
I Shrunk the Kids and they got eaten by a velvet worm.
Not the way I'd want to go.
No.
Derek, share another image. Oh yeah, you can kind of see a close up of slime droplet in here. And again,
Yeah.
we'll try to find duty royalty free images to share for the social media when this comes out. But yeah, pretty. It looks pretty concentrated. It's they're neat. They are neat. Amanda's face is disgusted.
I'm trying to figure out how to say it's funny to like think that slime evolved before like talons. You know what I mean? You're like, how am I going to defend myself? Slime.
Slime.
Like, not a knife, a slime.
Well, glands, probably glands that produce slime are quite old.
Quite old.
Uh, you perhaps that started as something to keep things moist, right? So
Right.
maybe that slime was more like a mucus to keep a invertebrate that needed to stay
Right.
moist in a drier environment, and then from there it progresses into a weapon.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. It's just
It
one of
is
those
wild.
things you never really pondered before this moment, and here I am
Yeah,
pondering it.
and
Weird.
well, so let's go. I want to go back and talk about. So their life cycle itself is not super interesting, but their mating is interesting, and I guess we've already covered weird things for this episode, so let's just dive right in.
Just keep going.
So most of them will start, so they can either reproduce sexually or asexually. And I'll talk about asexually last.
Okay.
So sexually, you get like regular male, female, genital to genital, vanilla
The
animal
setup.
stuff. Yeah.
Mm.
They also now some species females have like a little pit in the top of their head. It's like a little divot, and the male will. You remember spermatophores from other
Yes.
insects? They make a
Yes.
little sperm packet, and they just go boink and put it right in her head hole, and then leave. And then she keeps that for her whole life and never has to deal with a male worm again.
The dream.
And that sperm then fertilizes her entire existence for eggs. And she might lay eggs that will hatch. It could take like a year for the eggs to hatch. They're very slow to reproduce. And they only make maybe 1 to 20 offspring for their entire lives. So they're not super productive.
That seems very low for a bug. Normally, you're
Yeah,
like, and then they produce 6,000 eggs and
yeah, yeah. Every 10 minutes.
every 10 minutes for 17 years. You
Yeah.
know, so
They live for about 6 years total. Takes about a year for the egg to hatch, and then maybe 15 to 17 months to go from uh, offspring to adult. Oh, and when they hatch, they look like fully formed little adults, teeny tiny.
love
It's
that.
kind of cute. Yeah, kind of cute. Sometimes they do live birth, where they lay the eggs inside themselves. This is ovoviviparous in biology terms. And then they hatch in her, and then she gives birth to them, and that's kind of the same process. But another way to deliver sperm is a male might make a spermatophore and then just plop it anywhere on her skin and walk away, and it eats through the skin just enough to make it permeable, and then the sperm go into her body. And remember, because she's got that open
Right. Hydraulic.
cavity,
Mm.
that the sperm swim through her hemocele to her ovaries and then fertilize that way. It's a very weird system. Welcome
I
back,
mean,
everyone, to
oh,
Bugs Need Heroes.
welcome back to BugsNeedHeroes. Today we'll discuss. Don't like anglerfish do something like
Uh,
somewhat close to that too? Well, like, but that's like the
well, the
whole
male just
male,
completely fuses. The male becomes just testes
right?
and
He
a
doesn't leave her. He doesn't leave
blood
one package
system.
behind. He leaves his whole self behind.
Hmm. Yeah, this way the male is just leaving a package. And then, like I said, they are also
Asexual.
parthenogenic.
Mm-hmm.
They engage in parthenogenesis. So the
Yes.
female creates an egg, and that egg is basically a clone and hatches without fertilization. And they do that. So there's one species that does this, and I think, if I'm remembering properly, they live in Trinidad. This particular species, there are no males, none.
They're all just they're
They're
all just
all
clones of
cloned
mom.
females.
So are all the members of this species exactly alike? Is there like a
I
single?
don't know how many. Oh yeah, like whiptail lizards. I forgot about whiptails.
They do that too,
They do the
right?
same thing. Yeah, I don't know how many founder females there are that
Yeah.
created the whole population. I don't know who's left of that line. How many lines there were in the beginning? I'm not sure. Uh, but we know that no males have ever been found. None.
That's crazy. And like,
So we don't know if there used to be males
right, as
or
I was
if
about
there
to
was
say,
never
like,
males.
how long ago was there males
I
that
don't
they
know.
were? Because, like you said, they can do this both ways. Maybe there used to be males and that was happening, but then, oh, no males around. I guess I'll use this other method. And then something happened to
Then the
all
males just die
the
off.
Y last man on earth, and now they're all just that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm desperate to know how many founder females there are. Like, it's just like the same 12 worms.
12,000, who knows? I don't
Who
know.
knows?
Yeah. So we
Someone
don't
must
know a lot about velvet worms. There's
understudy.
not like a ton of literature, at least compared to other things that we've talked about on the
Charismatic
podcast.
megafauna.
Yeah, everyone loves a panda for some reason.
Everyone loves an adorable
Everyone loves a
little
baby hippo.
hippo. How dare they?
But
Study the power.
I found that to be fascinating. Absolutely
That's
fascinating.
crazy.
And you know what? I will keep digging through the literature, and
Mm,
I'll give an update if I can find
if you can find it, yeah.
any hypothesis about that
Wild.
population. And it's only this one species in Trinidad, which
That's
makes me think
crazy.
something happened.
Something happened. There's some story here
This is
about
a
like
big story.
where have all the men gone? Don't
It's
need them anyway.
incredible. Yeah, I was explaining to my students. We were talking about wildlife populations and why it really lots of females, one or two males, no problem. Lots of males, one or two females, you got a problem
We got a
because
problem.
there's not enough diversity there. Yeah, it only takes like a couple males to inseminate and a bunch of females. So males are not super important in large quantities. But I guess these velvet worms were just like, never mind, we're good. But it also shows the resourcefulness of nature.
Yeah, and
Right?
I just also wonder, like, is that sustainable? How long can you do that?
I don't know how long they've been doing this.
I don't know how long they've been doing it. I don't know what sort of problems it creates, if any. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's
Well,
totally stable.
think about whiptail lizards then, which are
Right.
much larger animals, vertebrates. You can say they have more complex systems, and they're doing okay. So, eventually you'll get some mutations in the population,
Yeah.
which will help
Yeah.
kind of change
They might evolve
that
men back
bottleneck a
in.
little bit. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I thought
That
that
is
was really
wild. Men, you're
interesting.
on notice. I might not need you around. Okay.
You already have two children, so
I know I'm good. I know I make that joke, but I'm happily married to a man, like an idiot.
Cody's the best. Cody, you're
Yeah,
the
we love
best.
Cody. I love you, Cody.
He's awesome. He's a good dude. I was very happy to meet him last time we were out. He's very sweet. So Cody can stay
All
in
right.
Velvet Worm world.
I will make him
We
wear a
keep
wig
Dung
though to
Beetle.
blend in. Yeah.
Yeah, a reminder that Cody is dung beetle.
Cody is dung beetle. I really tried hard not to make him dung beetle. At this point, I think we just need to embrace it.
Yeah, and that's like so that's like all the interesting sort of life history things about them. And then I have one more thing that
Oh
is
no.
also wild.
Oh.
Just wild. Not gross at least, but wild. So one species called Euperipetoides rowellii. Sorry guys, I know that's a long one. I won't say it twice.
You
uh,
can't say it twice.
they are social. So they form a colony. It's one matriarch and 14 other of, of the species. I think they're all related to her. And they pack hunt. Yeah.
Pack hunt?
Yeah.
Worms on the prowl? That's wild. Pack hunting is so interesting to me because it's like that feels sophisticated for an animal
Yes.
to do.
Oh, yeah.
And so every time a bug is doing something that I kind of assign to like higher mammals.
That's interesting coordination, right?
Yes. But like fish also swim in schools. I don't really understand how they all do that either. You know what I mean?
How they keep well with fish, you because of the way, a little aside for how
For our fishy friends.
colonial aquatic things work. So when fish are swimming together, that movement in the water, they have what's called a lateral line running along the side.
Right. I've heard this. The electricity line. Yes.
And they can feel changes in the water when they're moving. So they can adjust to each other in real time while they're swimming. I do have a bachelor's degree in marine biology. It's been a while since
I always forget that you're a marine biology Barbie. I always forget. I always think that's like a joke we made about when I was a kid. I wanted to be a marine biologist, like everyone else in the '90s. But you really did it. You did the dream.
I did, yeah. And I did like some marine work for a little while before switching. Um,
You need to combine these passions. You need to do water bugs.
Water bugs.
Water bugs.
There's plenty of aquatic invertebrates maybe we can cover for the podcast that we can consider bugs, like copepods or other like little things.
Oh, we did mantis shrimp.
Yeah, we did mantis shrimp. Yeah, so that's fine. But yeah, so they pack hunt together, and you brought up a really good point. Like, how do they do this? So they can't see very well at all. We don't really know how their chemoreception work, and chemoreception you can think of like smelling. I'm sure we've talked about that in other episodes. But we do think, when I say we, I use the big we for scientists. I don't mean like me and Amanda. It's yeah, scientists, we believe that they can sense changes in air currents by prey. So they line up for that.
They're catching the slipstream.
Yeah, so think about like 15 of them all together kind of zeroing in on something using that, that sort of sensory system. 15 velvet worms hunting.
You look down. 15 velvet worms headed for you.
Sliding it up.
Sliming you. Ow! I've been slimed below the ankle. You're eating my feet.
My toe. But so once they catch their prey, right? So there's the matriarch. The matriarch eats first. All the other worms wait. And then the rest of the females eat after her. And then whatever males are around. And
the
then
hyena
the baby.
method.
Yeah, and then the babies eat last. But it feels like if hyenas were velvet worms, or wild, right?
That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, you said there like weren't even this many kind of velvet worms, and yet they've got all these different behaviors spread out between like the 90 of them.
Incredible adaptations, to where they specifically hang out. And I see Derek. Thank you, Derek, is helping by editing some of the show notes for me, or the field notes we call them. So some people do keep them as pets. You can keep them in a very, very humid terrarium. I think they're very difficult to keep, but I saw quite a few like pet boards, like exotic pet boards, and like, oh, I got velvet worms, and they're cute. Some of them are like bright orange. But they also, there's a velvet worm named after Totoro from Studio Ghibli.
My neighbor, the velvet worm. That's fun.
I don't know if we have do we have an image of that species?
It's probably
Euperipatus Totoro.
I don't think so.
that little gray guy I was looking at earlier.
So, Amanda, thinking about this as a superhero.
I kind of want to do, and stay with me here. Do you know when they, in mythology, they have like, she's got a woman's body, but then she has like a snake, like kind of like a mermaid, but instead of a fishtail, it's a snake. But I kind of want to do that, but with a velvet worm. But I'm not sure that's the vibe that velvet worm has been giving off. Which is what I want to draw. So.
Oh, here we go. Here's the Totoro one.
Oh, okay.
Look at how chubby he is.
Hold on, I just loaded. Oh, see? I'm telling you.
Very chubby.
Okay, we need a chubby little friend. What's chubby behavior?
Apparently, the researchers who discovered it had watched My Neighbor Totoro the night they found it.
You guys are gonna get rocked
awesome.
by the weebs. It's Totoro.
It's Totoro, really?
Yeah.
It's one of the few I haven't seen.
It's good. It's a little bit about ghosts, but it is good.
But they said it resembled the cat bus.
It does. It does look like the cat bus.
It does look like the cat bus, yeah. Totoro, I'm very sorry.
The weebs are coming.
I haven't seen that since I was a kid, and I just don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not here to rock on you. I'm just saying.
I always appreciate a pronunciation correction because I'm not always right.
I mean, I could be wrong, and maybe I've been hearing it wrong for the last, my tenureship of 30 years.
You're probably more right than I am. Yeah, you are probably correct.
The saddest movie I ever saw.
Is it me who is wrong? No, it is the children who
are wrong.
No, it's
the children who are wrong. Okay, I think I'm just going to draw a little cutie. I think that's what I'm doing.
A little cutie?
I think I'm just going to draw.
Because you kind of love this guy, don't you?
Cutie. I'm kind of into, you know me. I'm so easily swayed by just like a cute little guy. And I was like, look at this cute little guy. Oh my gosh, Kelly, I got to tell you the story of how Cody lost a year of his life. Speaking of Cody and his sweetie. So, sorry. So, I sent you that picture of like the cardstock spider we have.
Yes, yeah, which is very cute.
Well, it's very cute. My husband's boss was kind enough, she heard that I do a bug podcast. She sent along what's called table confetti, which is like these 2 to 3 inch little cardstock bugs, right? There's like a housefly and a spider and a grasshopper.
I didn't know this was a thing.
Apparently, it doesn't it feel like like Midwestern. I don't know where his boss is from, but it gives that energy. Anyway, I keep them in a drawer in my room with other things my daughter knows she's not supposed to get into. Important documents, keepsakes, my love letters from my friend who's now a drag queen in San Francisco, but we had a brief romantic affair as 7-year-olds. That sort of stuff.
Oh, yes.
In the before times. But in there I had the confetti, and she got it out. She knew she wasn't supposed to have it, so she was hiding the bugs around our room.
Oh boy!
And our house is 100 years old, and so the door jambs are like these big, thick wood door jambs, but they have like a significant separation between the wall and the door jamb, enough to slip a cardstock spider in between. And Addie knew that she had left it there, and so she started to pull it out. But all my husband saw was his 2-year-old pulling a spider out from behind the door jamb. And the more she pulled, the bigger the spider became, because it's this huge, 2-inch cardstock spider. I mean, he was like, Addie, no. And then I was like, it's okay. It's just one of those cardstock spiders. And he had to sit down and have palpitations.
I'm sure.
I just lost a year of my life. I was like, I'm so sorry. And then today, she was over there again. It's right beneath the light switch, and she's into flicking the light switch. And she starts pulling the spider out again. She got it out of the drawer a second time and hid it in the same spot. And I was like, girl, that is not where it goes. Stop it.
You're really scaring Daddy. Knock it off.
You're really freaking your dad out.
Oh, that's great. That is fantastic.
It was so funny.
Poor Cody.
Poor poor little Cody.
He's a good dude. I give him a lot of credit.
He doesn't deserve the harshness we give him, but here we are.
So for superpowers, obviously it's going to be slime.
Yes.
Slime projectile. And little footy claws, because they have little claws on them feet. I would say the digestive juices are a superpower, but you can't really draw that. You could do the pack hunters.
Oh my gosh! Just a whole trail of little cuties coming at you.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it. Producer Derek makes a good point that there are very few animals that have ranged attacks.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get a bow and arrow into your little your little chubby little hands when you're a bug.
What theme are you kind of going for? I know you said chubby little cutie, but in what way?
Going chubby little cutie. I kind of want to go. So there's this. Oh, I'm so sorry for the amount of weeb coming out this episode. There's this anime style called chibi that was huge when I was in high school.
Oh, I was big with Sailor Moon when I was a kid.
Big with Sailor Moon, and it's kind of become like the shorthand of like. They call it omake theater. It's like this it's just like a cute little guy. It's just like a cute little guy. I want to do official art, but I don't want to draw the whole thing. Right?
Short and little chubby.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I'm gonna like lean into that vibe, knowing that we've got like a Totoro going on. But the problem is I haven't really drawn a chibi since high school. I try to leave my weeb behind and
you can never leave the weeb behind.
You can never really get rid of it. You can take the girl out of Japanese club. You can't take the Japanese club out of the girl. Oh no! Now's the portion of the podcast that Derek always has to cut out.
Oh
so
yeah,
I'm just very quickly trying to draw. Does she need a teeny tiny cape? I think she does.
Oh yeah, little cape, absolutely.
Okay, I'll give her a little.
While you're drawing, I'll tell a little spider story for the listeners. So this is where we do the podcast, is like my office / the guest bedroom, and I have a bunch of plants in the window that I don't have the biggest green thumb, but I'm getting better. I tend to overwater plants because I'm afraid that I don't want them to desiccate, which feels like a horrible way to go. But then I end up giving them root rot because I overwater them.
You just drown them in a different way.
It's a constant battle to not smother my plants with love. So I've been trying to leave them alone for a little while. And I came in and I noticed, so there's a little spider. I don't know what species it is. It's just a small little web builder. And I've noticed it making little webs in between some of the plant pots. And I just let her do her thing, because sometimes you get soil gnats that come out and they get stuck in her web and then she eats them. Like, great, you eat those. Well, I was moving pots around on one side of the room and I found an egg sac, and that egg sac is empty. Yeah.
Yeah. You got spiders now, friend. You got spiders now.
Large. So I go to the other side of the window and there are little webs everywhere between all the pots, between like part of the air conditioning unit, which is part of the window, and the floor. I have like a bunch of incense stored under the unit because you can't do anything else with that space. They've like webbed that all up. So many, but I haven't seen a single spider. Just webs. I think it got too hot in here because I leave the blinds totally open.
They've all fallen from their webs to the ground somewhere.
I think they've all desiccated because I let it get warm in here for the plants, because I have lots of more like tropically plants in here, and they like the humidity and they like the heat. But it's amazing. All these babies hatched, covered my plants with webs, and then ate it all within like a week.
They did the speed run of Charlotte's Web there.
So I feel bad that none of them made it, but also I had to like vacuum up a whole bunch of spider webs, and It was a time.
Spider cereal on the ground
Yeah,
that you didn't know was there.
poor little guys. Yeah, my plants are fine. They're doing okay, so I'm glad about that. But poor little dudes. Actually, a friend of the pod, Ped, gave me a small version of a mother-in-law's tongue that only gets maybe, I don't know, 7 inches, 7 or 8 inches tall, and it had like 3 babies. So the plants are really having a good time in here. But not the spiders, sadly. Sorry, little spider. I hope one of them lived. I feel bad if they all didn't make it.
We have a spider, and I meant to talk to you about this. We have a spider living on our back window, and I noticed one day that there was 2 of them, a bigger orb weaver of some kind. I looked up the name of it, but now I can't remember what it was. And then like a little one that was the same color, but had a different silhouette. And when I looked at it, it looked like it might be the male of the species. And they were kind of cohabitating in this web. And I was like, we'll see how long you last, Mr. Spider. Because I don't think it'll last long.
Has she eaten him yet?
I haven't seen him yet today. So it's possible he's chow. But then I noticed some debris had like blown onto the web. But it seems like she moved it all to the middle of the web. And now whenever I get close to the window, she hides inside of the debris.
Yeah, she's made herself a little hiding spot.
And I didn't think that that was something that they did around here. I know that they do it in like some tropical locales.
Some orb weavers do it. Yeah, they'll make like a little like leaf pocket.
I've never seen it before, like in the middle of the web. Like it would make sense to me if it was in the corner of the web, like, well, it's here. But like to purposely move it to the middle of the web, or maybe not even purposely move it as much as get rid of it when it lands somewhere else on the web.
Yeah, and then she's probably not moving it.
Right.
Maybe she might be moving. I've never seen
them. It's a lot of debris. I'll take a picture.
Yeah, I've only ever seen the finished product. I've never seen them.
Well, it started as like 1 or 2 little leaves, and then the next time I walked by, it was more, and then the next time I walked by, it was more, and now it's like a good, like inch by inch little hide.
Yeah, maybe she's moving it from other parts of the web and consolidating.
I mean, it is a windy spot of the porch, so it's also very possible that it's just like getting there, you know?
It's a little hut. Yeah, without knowing what type of spider it is, but
does she need glasses because she can't see very well?
She might need glasses. She can't see at all.
She can't see. She's
some of the best contacts money can buy.
It'll just make her look extra cute, so I'm willing to do it. Okay, she's got big antenna because this guy has like big juicy antenna.
Kind of thick.
Yeah, kind of thick.
Yeah, so listeners, don't think about butterfly antennae, which are nice and thin.
Think more like
really thick.
Think about gummy worms. And then, like, she's stuck her to the top of your head.
Yeah, kind of. Because I can't think of another super thickly, at least not that we've covered, antennaed animal.
Okay.
Or arthropod.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of outfit she needs.
Oh, boy. I don't know.
She needs a bigger mouth, too.
A tracksuit?
Bigger mouth. Tracksuit. A velvet tracksuit. You're a genius, Kelly. My gosh.
I live in New Jersey, and when I was a little girl in the 80s, my parents got me a tracksuit. I don't know if it's because we're Polish or what.
You need to even just Slav squat all over the house. Yeah. I've got a great picture of my son at like 18 months, and he's just like Slav squatting in his little black and white Nike tracksuit. It's so funny.
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely.
You need to find that picture of you in your little tracksuit. I hope Juicy was across the butt for some reason. It was good.
No, this is just like the tracksuit was that weird windbreaker material, but the whole thing.
Yeah, you're going skiing later, but you know.
I had like a little pixie haircut because I was a wild feral monster and always bringing home leaves in my hair, and my mom was sick of it. So yeah, little pixie cut tracksuit, fantastic. I look like a Slavic like mob hitman from the 80s.
You were like, say goodbye. What are these leaves in your hair, Kelly? No reason. Don't need to go down to the Polish pierogi hut today. There's police all over.
burying a body in the Pine Barrens. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. But yeah, she needs a velvet tracksuit. Absolutely.
How do I indicate that it's velvet? I'll just give it some little fluff. You'll know. You'll know because I'm gonna color it like
Yeah, you'll color it like the velvety.
that velvety maroon.
Can you do
there
that
always
velvety texture in a? Is that?
I'll find
probably
a way.
hard
I'll
to
find
do?
a way.
I believe
Okay.
in your artistic talents, Amanda.
And a pixie cut. She needs
Oh God, she doesn't have to be me.
pixie cut. She does have to be you because it's
She's
so much
a 9-year-old Kelly.
We're leaning in here.
Yeah, I think I was probably between 7 and 9. I'm picturing a very specific maroon tracksuit. Oh,
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This is really cute. Oh, she's a sweetheart. Oh, I love her.
Oh man, some of our heroes we really need to make stickers of because they're just ridiculous.
We might need a sticker of Velvet Worm. She is a cutie. Okay, hold on. I'm sending you. I was surprised at myself at how quickly I was able to tap back into 14-year-old Amanda.
Velvet Worm is a piece of both of our childhoods.
Yes.
Just in different ways. Oh man.
Someone today was like, what would you get if you combined the first thing you really loved, like fandom wise, with the latest thing you really loved? And I was like, Digimon plus anything is not a great look. Save a copy. And just regular save. Okay, here she comes. Whoa, whoa. Here she comes.
I can't wait.
Oh, I almost sent it to my friend's Discord. She would have been really confused about why she was getting that.
No sneak peeks.
No sneak peeks.
Kelly, if you want to just hold on, then I will put it in with the share screen.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, I'll wait. I won't peek.
We're going to scroll down to V for Velvet. Here she is. We do back-to-back Velvet episodes.
Oh yeah, we did Velvet Ants, which we will be releasing when we go to the Entomological Society of America conference. That's when you'll hear that episode.
I'm sorry, she's funny. She's cute. She looks like an alien, but that's fine with me.
They're kind of alien looking.
Kind of alien-ish.
And I also wore glasses at that time period. So she is tiny, tiny me.
She seems sweet. She seems like she'd have a good time. And imagine like 6 of them.
Yeah,
like, and they've all got like the same haircut,
around.
But they have different colored hair. One has pink hair, one has blue hair, one has yellow hair.
Oh no, they all look exactly the same.
They all look. Oh, you want them? Oh, that's right, because they're clones of. Yeah,
Well,
yeah. There's like a mother one somewhere. A mother worm.
a proud mother, Velvet Worm. Oh, she is a cutie. Welcome back, Amanda.
Thank you. I missed the art challenge that is Kelly describes a bug, and I have to try.
You usually do incredibly well with very little information, it feels like. So what, how many legs?
My gosh, 20 out of 20 legs. I love Velvet Worm, even though they're a menace to society. I'm not sure how, but they give off menace energy.
Here, I forgot to tell you guys how many
legs are there, actually?
So usually between 14 and 16 pairs.
Oh, okay. So double it.
And then one species has 43 pairs is the most.
Oh my god, too many legs. Too many.
Yeah, we don't want to do how many legs out of 86.
That's like when you get stuck in like a rock, paper, scissors contest, and it's like best 36 out of, or it's always going to be odd number, 37 out of 28 million legs. No, full scores.
We could do a round number and I don't know. Between
Yeah, it's
14
fine.
and 16.
Yeah, I say 16. We'll do 16
Just a
out of 16
16.
pairs.
Okay. How
It's
many
great.
pairs of legs would
How
you
many
give Velvet
pairs of
Worm?
legs? 16 pairs of legs. I love Velvet Worm. Even though I feel like when we first opened that picture of that first velvety worm, I was like, mm-mm, mm-mm. But now I'm on board.
Now you're
I'm
on
in.
board.
She swayed me to her side in the end.
Was it the Totoro that did
It
it
was
for
the
you?
Totoro. It was the she don't need no man. Um, but
Truly, truly
she's
the most feminist
the most
bug
feminist
idol
bug we've
we've
had.
chosen lately.
Uh,
Other than
yeah,
bees, maybe.
that she's like soft to the touch. She's a soft side, but also she will shoot you in the face
With slime.
with slime. She
Sticky
doesn't
slime.
want predated. And like she's little, and like that's always like if you're gonna be a little bit gross, you have to also be a little bit little. You
You
know,
can't be huge.
you
I
can't
don't
be
know, that
huge.
8-incher is a little.
Yeah, she's pushing it.
I don't want to see her in
The
person.
mother worm. But
Would you
like just
still
like a
love me
little
if I
bit.
was a worm?
Would you still love me if I was a velvet worm? If I shot you in the face with slime as a defense mechanism, and then like digested you a little bit when I ate you.
I think I'd also give it 16 out of 16 pairs. I love that they're ancient, like
Yeah,
absolutely
but
ancient.
it's always kudos when you've got a design and you've stuck with it this long. That
Yeah,
means
they
it's
haven't
working.
really changed from the beginning. They're part of that initial predator prey arms race where where predators have to start really detecting the prey that they're hunting.
Right.
So
It's not
even
just
though she can't see very well, she's still sensing them in other ways. It's very neat. Shooting slime is funny, so I'll give it to her
it's
for
great.
that.
I want to see more of her like morphs, more of her colors. When you just Google it, it kind of comes up with that same Mudang colored.
There's like a beautiful. If we just let's see. If I type in blue velvet worm, does it give me?
Derek sending Derek sending sandworms to the chat.
Oh, I'm
Boom,
gonna
boom, boom, boom.
I'm gonna send you one more picture. This one
Okay, I'm
has
ready.
cute little yellow dots all over it.
Oh, what a sweetie heart. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm in on Velvet Worms. I really didn't think I was gonna be. But here I am, convinced once more.
Totally 100% in on velvet worms. Yeah, they're cool. They're
And they
very
have like a
cool.
cute little mouth. I know you were trying to be like, his mouth is a gaping maw, like a sarlacc pit. And I was like, I don't
It
know.
is a little Sarlacc pity
I
though. It's
feel like
very
it's
Sarlacc.
really cute.
It's horrifying in the drawings because they have to make it very very stand out so you can really see it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess you don't notice how horrifying it is on the
When it's
worm
on its
itself.
little, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and its little like slime arms right above its maw.
Yeah. And like the slime arms are giving like eyeball energy. So it's easy to give it that like, oh, he's cute and sweet with his far apart baby eyes.
Yeah, but really they're limbs.
But really, they're limbs that shoot horrible slime.
And they're like little sack bag feet are
Their feet are
very
very
funny.
funny. Where like it's like a full arm. And then they're like, one more. You're like, you didn't need the one more. You didn't need it.
That's like me with beer on a Saturday.
Kelly.
I didn't need that one more
You
beer.
didn't need that one more. Here we are.
There's like little fleshy sack feet. They extend out like a sort of like a snail eye stalk. They can move them
Yeah.
around like that. So
You're
they're
looking at this one that you just most
really
recently
neat.
said. I get more of that, like it can telescope and come
Yeah.
in sort
Yeah.
of sensation.
And
And also its antennae are very funny to me that they're so thick.
they're
Or
very thick.
like when normally antennae are like super thin, they feel fragile almost. And
Yeah,
then,
I bet these are squishy to the touch.
oh yeah, I want to touch him real bad. I want to touch this guy. I'm adding this to my bucket list. Touch velvet worm.
Very few of our bugs does Amanda really want to touch. This one, yeah.
Derek's scolding us. He's gonna have to edit the edit. All right. Well, anything else you want to say about velvet worm? I miss making the pod. I love the pod.
Yeah, the pod's great. I missed you and Derek and looking at Derek's kitties. I'm so glad we're back. talking about bugs. I'm glad Velvet Worm was the kickoff because
Yeah.
weird.
What a worm.
What
a worm.
And I miss the listeners. They're more active, obviously, when we're putting out new episodes. So
Right.
come on by the socials and say hello. Send us a Gmail, an email, whatever. Yeah. How about you, Amanda? Anything to add?
If you have a velvet worm, let me know what it feels like. I touched a Sphinx cat, and that was on my list of things I wanted to touch. And they feel
I
like
have
the
not.
back of your hand. Like pet the back of your
Really?
hand. Yeah. Because like he does still have hair, but just not much. Just not much.
Interesting. I want to pet one.
And also, but we touched one at a cat show, so you know that cat was like moisturized up.
Oh, yeah.
He'd recently been
Was it glistening?
oil of Olay, like blah, 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 blah. So
Baby oiled.
it was a very friendly cat, though. I don't blame her for being like, "We gotta take this Sphinx cat and let people touch it," because everybody wants to be like, "Okay, well, what does he feel like, really?" Though?
Yeah. Well, we got to do that with Velvet Worm if we get a chance.
We'll go to the ESA conference you'll go to the ESA conference in November, and if anybody has access to Velvet Worms, you dial it.
Come find me. Producer Derek and I will be at that conference. If you're an entomologist who listens to the podcast, come find me and say hi. I'll be giving a talk on Sunday called When Bugs Need Heroes, all about the pod and scientific outreach and that kind of thing in weird spaces like Comic-Cons. So come say hi if you're there and you're listen. Hopefully we make some new friends.
Always. As always, reach out to us, Reddit, email, you know how to find us. And otherwise, know that we love you. So love you, bye. Bugs Need Heroes is created by Derek Conrad and Kelly Zimmerman. Hosted by Amanda Niday and Kelly Zimmerman. Bugs Need Heroes is produced and edited by Derek Conrad. Our music is Ladybug Castle by Roll Music. All character art by Amanda Niday. Got a bug question? Email us at bugsneedheroes@gmail.com. Check us out on bugsneedheroes.com for the visual companion to our episodes with the artwork of the bug-related heroes. We also have an Instagram, Twitter, and subreddit under the Bugs Need Heroes name. Thanks for coming by.
They feel like human infants. It's weird.
A human infant?
Yeah.
That's very specific, Derek.